Hi everybody, I'm going to draw Captain Marvel today, of the Marvels, but the old style one, the one that I know and am familiar with, because that's the one I prefer to draw, and I'm going to show you how I would draw her, and I would kind of ignore what's been going on with the media, because with the new one, because I don't think it's very good. Now I'm going to try to start off with my style, that my standard style of drawing females, that as seen in How to Draw a Female Figure Made Easy, in my first tutorial, one of my first tutorials. I'm going to draw Captain Marvel kind of flying at you. Something kind of dynamic. Some foreshortening, some real foreshortening here. Now I went in to see the Marvels, as I say. It was I didn't like it at all. But I was had an open mind. I wanted to like it, because sometimes I don't agree with the critics that everyone was really bashing Rebel Moon, and I went and saw that on on the whatever, I forget what service it was on, but and I liked it. I liked it. There were a lot of people bashing it, so I went in thinking, well, maybe they're wrong about this too. Well, they weren't wrong. It was really that bad. The science was really confusing. I didn't understand the science at all. It was too complicated, and it was just ridiculous. And I kept thinking, who is this supposed to be for? Why would they even think anyone would be interested in this? And a young man, no young man's gonna be interested in this at all. Let me make this a little bigger. Yeah, they're kind of clueless right now. What's going on at the comics, like Marvel Comics and stuff? They just don't know what they're doing. They don't understand fantasy. Men have fantasies, and this is what comics is about: fantasy. And you have to give them what they want to buy, what sells. And it'll be, if they're going to sell a character like Captain Marvel, it's got to be this version, because this is the one that guys like. They're on some sort of quest there, and it's just not going to work. That's a silly thing. It's not going to work. You can't force things on people they don't want. And they're just wrong too. It's like I always say, why don't you see grandma superheroes? Is it that men don't love their grandmothers? No, no, they adore their grandmothers. They just don't want to be a grandma. You see, that's it. Comic books are about what men want to be. That's why they're like Superman or Batman. They're like guys that are, handsome and cool and smart and capable and often wealthy. Because that's what men want to be. Because that's what attracts a woman, and that's what young men fantasize about. That's their fantasies. Like I said, it's not that they don't, love their grandmothers, but they don't want to be a grandma. Comics are about what men want to be. Or the other thing is what men want to have, and that would be a strong, attractive woman. And both things are perfectly healthy fantasies for a young man to have. It's nothing wrong with it at all. You shouldn't be ashamed of that. But they try to make you ashamed and make you feel like you're doing something wrong. It's a really terrible thing that they're doing. But it won't sell, so it's not going to work. So I got this figure looking pretty good, I think, pretty quickly. Yeah, it just popped right out, didn't it? The collarbone. See, I do this thing almost like a halter top. That's kind of how I find the muscles, the rib cage and that sort of thing. Shoulder muscles. See, she's a strong woman. She's beautiful. She's going to be beautiful, but she's strong. You know. Men buy comics about what they want to be or what they want to have. That's male fantasy. And if you ignore that, you will not sell comics. It's just the birds and the bees, nature. You don't see baby superheroes or mom superheroes. It's not that men don't love babies or their moms. It's that they don't want to be a baby. They don't want to be a mom. They want to be a cool guy that girls like. All the superheroes actually are that. All the superheroes are nice and shiny armor. When you look at it, I'm trying to do some reflection here. All right, let's see. Legs are in the background. Okay, I think I got enough to go on here in my rough. This is really a pretty easy one, frankly. Okay, gonna bring that way down, the opacity way down to almost disappearing. Just enough so I can see it. And I always say when I do a rough, it's like a target. So I can know where to aim. Now I go in with the details. One video I haven't done yet, and I'm going to do it soon, how to draw female faces. Everything's easy once you know how. And that's what I reveal with all my tutorials, the tricks and how I figured it out. Learning through books, and sometimes just learning through trial and error. Sometimes it's just good old-fashioned hard work, experimentation. Yeah, that Marvel's movie. Whew. That was rough. Okay, noses. Noses can be all different kinds of shapes. Eyes are kind of, typical on most people. Beautiful eyes are beautiful eyes. But noses can be different sizes, different variations. Doesn't matter as much. But generally, smaller noses is a little more appealing. Mouths too. You got a lot of options with mouths. I want to kind of give her something kind of cool. A little more angular mouth. I don't know, just because it look kind of cool. I always put the eyeballs in last. Eyelashes. You don't really draw individual eyelashes ever when you're drawing beautiful women. It's like not drawing individual teeth. Don't draw individual teeth. It makes it look like you get bad teeth. You're simplifying things when you're doing illustrations. The eyes, careful, don't make this line around the eyeball part too dark. Hair's fun. Just have fun. Make beautiful shapes out of the hair. It's a time to just let go and see what happens. I mean, hair can be flying any which way. can make it funky like that. Funny shapes. Sometimes it's nice to think of the hair too as just one big mass. Think of it in terms of mass, not individual strands, but chunks of hair. Because that's sort of what happens sometimes. Hair chunks sort of go together. Shoulders nice and strong. Because she's a hero. You know, she is a superhero. She's super. Not your average person. Same with the guys and girls, same thing. Super. Super cool, super good looking. Yeah, when you think about superheroes, they're all kind of the same superhero. They're all knights in shining armor. You know, Iron Man is definitely a knight in shining armor. Thor is with his hammer and armor. Superman has he's armored with he's bulletproof. You know, so that's his armor. Hulk is impervious to bullets. Wolverine has a healing factor. That's his armor. Spider-Man has a spidey sense, protects him. That's kind of his armor, and super strength and things like that. But they're all kind of the same superhero. Batman is literally called the Dark Knight. So these guys, they're all knights. Men want to be knights. Even Cyberfrog. Cyberfrog is a knight in shining armor. You wouldn't think, oh, well, what man wants to fantasize about being a frog? Well, because you get to hang out with Heather Swain. That's his fair maiden. Superman has Lois Lane. You know, Spider-Man has Mary Jane. So that's what the fantasy is. It's same fantasy told again and again, but people love it. You know, young men love that. There's nothing wrong with a good fantasy for a young man. When you get out there in the real world, you want to be the hero to some woman, and that's a good thing. You don't slay the dragons, but you slay the mortgage payment and the that sort of thing, the car payments and. I don't want to do too much detail in here before I take a look at how it looks in the reverse image. You always want to reverse your images. Okay. Everything I do here, though, in these drawings, I really bring them back to my tutorials, because everything's in here. How to draw the female figure, made easy, very good, important information in that. How to draw hands. Check them out if you haven't, and show them around. Show this stuff to other people, because it's really the equivalent of going to get a very expensive art course or taking one online. It's all free, and you're going to get better instruction from my tutorials, in my opinion, my humble opinion. Because a lot of these people, I look at their tutorials and they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to teach drawing. They're just not good. They don't know. Doesn't stop them, though, from pretending as if they do. But there's nothing like a good, solid drawing course with all the fundamentals. And even if you're a writer, I recommend looking at my tutorials, especially the one on how to tell clear storytelling. because you have to, if you're a writer, you have to be able to think visually. And knowing the 180-degree rule is critical to understanding that. So you can help, the reader describe when you're using, even in prose. The description is so important. I've read a lot of books and I'm just like, what in the world's going on? They don't seem to understand how to tell clear storytelling. And that's so critical. You never want your reader to ever have to think about what's going on or have to figure anything out. All the thinking that you want them to do is about the story. So if your storytelling's bad, you're giving them extra work that is unnecessary and unwelcome. They will not come back for more. So I got a whole tutorial on how to draw hands. It's a really good one, I think. But give me your feedback, you guys, when you see this stuff, and let me know. Feedback is so important. I gotta know. I mean, I'm pretty good at this sort of thing, and I don't know if I'm teaching it clearly enough. So, but I'm getting good response so far. So that's a good sign. There's so much stuff. Every time I think I've gotten most of the things down, like, oh no, there's more to teach. There's more stuff I can talk about. Folds and clothes. Yeah, I gotta do that. Oh yeah, okay. That's a tough one, actually. Clothes are kind of tough. Okay. Let's pull this back a little bit. Let's see what we got. How's we's doing? Looks okay. Not bad at all so far. Gotta get a smaller brush here. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's get this leg up a little better. I'm not far from doing color, I don't think. I gotta flip it though and see if I made any, how my mistakes are. If I made anything super bad here. She's got dark gloves, I think, right? Yeah. So gotta do some dark gloves. Okay, that's okay. All right. Yeah, the Marvels. Ooh-wee. But like I said, I was objective. I really wanted to like it. They were wrong, I felt, about Rebel Moon, the critics. But they were not wrong about this one. Okay. I think that's kind of done-ish. It helps that when you're looking at it close up, whoops, I don't want to move. It without moving both layers. So I had shift click both layers and I can move both layers together. All right, illuminate that. Okay, let's flip it. Image, rotation. I'm going to flip the canvas horizontally and see if I see any big mistakes. I don't know. It's okay. I think it's kind of like heavy boob on one side, too much boob. Gotta even them out. Flipping is so important. If you're working on a piece of paper, use a mirror. It's kind of disheartening sometimes when you draw something and then you flip it and go, oh man, that looks weird. But you know what? That's the process. The whole process of drawing is making mistakes, going back, fixing them, redoing it again and again till you get it right. And then what happens is every once in a while you're like, you flip it and you go, oh my gosh, there's nothing really that bad about it. And that's when you know you're starting to get good. Getting good at drawing means you start off doing bad drawings, and then you do, everything is kind of a stinker, and then all of a sudden you do one that's not a stinker, and then you do a couple more that aren't stinkers. And that's kind of how it works. In the end, when you get a little older, like I've been doing this for 37 years, you do very few stinkers. But getting there is still difficult. It's not like, oh, I just can just sit down and do it perfectly good. Nope. See those mistakes right there? I could see them. And okay. I think this eye is a little bit, has to be just nudged over. I'm going to use my arrow keys on this. I selected it, and then boom, hit it once, maybe twice, 3 times. No. Okay. That's a bad song. All right. Okay, I think she looks cool. Beautiful, tough, cool. The way she should be. They may have had a successful movie if they made her look like this. Get that, what was that girl through the Barbie? She'd be good. But nope, they gotta inject some kind of stupid message or something. I don't know. Some agenda, and they pay for it because they don't make any money. So, and it doesn't help the cause either. That's another thing. They end up hurting the causes that they want to champion anyways. Okay. This is pretty cool. It's not bad. I think I'm going to lighten up these lines just a little bit here. Just kind of take it, soften some of the edges where. If you see my video on what's the similarities between Sean Gordon Murphy, Kevin Nolan, and who's the other guy? Yeah, and Travis Terez. I don't even know. You see that light lines, almost non-existent lines, on the light side, it creates a really nice, sophisticated look. Okay, she's okay. Not too bad at all. It's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, cool. I like it. Let's flip it back. And what am I doing? Image rotation. You can't see this, but it doesn't show up because I am sharing the window, but not the other part. And I'm flipping the canvas back. Okay. So let's put some color on it. I'm going to do a flat, on this one. Because I can do some shading on it afterwards. All right. Flats are pretty boring to do. People farm them out. That's why. Just a flat color going over everything. And then when you have a flat, you can lock the layer and use, and I'll show you in a minute, clipping masks. And then nothing goes over outside the figure. It's really cool. She actually looks kind of cool, all blue like this. Okay. Okay, I'm not gonna do everything because I want the hair to be soft. I'm gonna switch. This is a hard brush. Now there's a button right up here, and this controls you either have a hard shot or you push that, and it gives you a softer edge. Or so for doing fills, you want to use the hard edge, the complete fill. But when you're rendering and painting, you want the soft edge. But for hair, even with the fill, with the hair, I'm going to do a soft edge because I want a soft fill. Okay, let's see. I'm not even sure what I'm doing with the hair here. It's kind of weird. I'm trying to make it flip around behind her, kind of. I'm thinking three-dimensionally with the hair, trying to think three-dimensionally with hair. It's going behind her a little bit. I think that's kind of interesting. Because she's flying at you after all. Okay, that's kind of cool. Okay, now, this is the interesting thing, is you can lock the layer. Right up here, this little checkerboard type thing. Lock it. And so when you go over this, it doesn't go off the edge, and it doesn't do anything but what's on the figure. And the other thing you can do, you can create some layers, or a layer. I'm going to shift select all these, and I'm going to go down to, you probably can't see this either, create clipping masks. It's the right click. You'll see it if you right click. And the same effect where I can go like this and it doesn't affect, it doesn't go off the figure. It stays on the figure. It stays on what this layer is here. So let's just start off with some blonde hair. Not too yellow, actually. I want a soft brush. What am I doing with this hard edge brush? Okay, I want to make her, well, actually, I think I'm going to just get in here with some tones first, just to kind of, I think I might actually just lighten up this blue a little bit. I'm going to do a Command U, bring up the hue and saturation. Again, you can't see this, but just knock down the saturation and bring it up a little bit like this. Okay, just so it's easier to get where I want to go without having to cover up that really dark blue. Actually, I could have left that blue on just because a lot of the costume is a dark blue, right? Yeah. Well, that's a kind of a real sort of fresh blue. Okay, I'm going to give her some blush, a little bit on the nose. Let's see, I'm going to move these over here. Nice lip color. She's looking like a knockout. And that's what you want to do. Draw super people. They're superheroes. I don't want to do like yellow hair, even though that's kind of what they do on these regular comics. I mean, I could. Kind of cool, actually. But I prefer just to give it a little more shine to it. See how I'm almost giving it a little metallic feel. Now, again, if you look at my video on how to paint metallic surfaces, you can actually apply it to hair. Amazingly enough. So I'm giving her really golden hair. Kind of give her a little bit of red around her. Just give get a little warmth, a little color in her, color variation. Now I can do all kinds of colors for the lips, obviously. I mean, already did some of it. Go really red. Don't really care for really red lips, frankly, though. They look natural. I think I prefer a little more pink. Well, maybe in this case it works out to be a little more red. She's super after all. Okay, looks kind of cool. Well, I gotta make her blue, a little more blue. Not so purpley. Although you can do purple if you want, doesn't matter. Okay. Gosh, this is not too far from being done. I'm really blasting through this pretty quick. So here's the old style. This is what's great about computer coloring now. You can see, like, this is neat. It's great. It's got its charm. I like it and stuff. But look at how much more beautiful you can make these drawings now just using a little bit of airbrush, a little bit of Photoshop. Or at least it's a matter of opinion, I suppose. Some people like the old style, and that's fine. Of course, it's great. Now I'm going to go, where's the line here? Now what you can do is if you do line work, you can lock the layer right up here, this little small thing, click that. And then I can go in here, and I do like to do this with faces. On women especially. Some of these lines here that are on the body, you don't really want cut lines necessarily. You can have them colored lines, you can make them into, they're still there, but they're colored. It's kind of nice. All right, I think she looks cool, man. I like it. Now, I did do some lines in advance in the background. Let's see. Where are they? Yeah, these. Kind of gives a little bit of something. A little bit of excitement. I think what I could do is actually take this and duplicate this layer. So I can Command J it. And then I'm going to use my move tool. And kind of rotate a little bit so I can get more lines. A little way of cheating. I think get a little more, few more exciting lines in here. Maybe I'll Command J that again and do the same thing. Wait, did I Command J it? I did not even. Hang on a second. What's the matter here? Okay, so I got this. Okay, did this one. I have to enter it first, then Command J. Now I got another one. Okay. So we got some more lines. Looks like she's really flying at you now. That's pretty cool. Okay, maybe I'll add a bit of color to it, maybe, just to give it some interest. And I'll actually take these three layers. I'm going to select them all, shift select, and then merge the layers on the pull down menu. Lock it, and then I'll make these kind of blue too. She looks beautiful, I think. Well, very cool, very cool. Okay, one last thing that I have is, it's fine as is, but one last thing I can do as an option now, so I can take all this, the entire, all of her art, put it in one group, so it's all in one group, then create another layer down here with this little crossy thing here, the box, and then right-click that and make that into a clippy mask, so it'll only affect what's on here. And now I can do a multiply layer with a nice blue, big brush. I could do something like this. Maybe warm her up a little bit here. Oh, I got it not have dark and I want multiply. Oops. See, it's a pretty cool look. So look, what do you think the difference is? Eh? You can like it. I like it kind of the way it is, but maybe I'll take it off the hair, like that hair, goldenish. But that is mighty fine. I like it. She looks very, very cool. And that's it for Captain Marvel. She looks marvelous. Marvelous. So thanks for checking in and watching me do this drawings. I really trying to get my watch hours up, so I'm doing lots of fun stuff here to see if I can do that. And this one turned out all right. So thank you all for checking in and watching and enjoying this drawing stream. And like and share it if you don't mind, and comment on it if you like this this thing. Let me know what you think about comics or even the Marvels in the comment section. I'm happy to hear about that. I always do read all the comments, and I usually comment on them too, so because there's not that many. So anyways, we'll see you next time on the next drawing tutorial. Thanks. Bye.